Types of diffusion by Grace Poole. Diffusion is defined as the movement of people, goods, and ideas across a space. The concept of diffusion was first recognized by a guy named Carl Sawyer in 1923. Carl continued to watch how the areas around him were slowly changing due to the influence by new peoples. Within diffusion, he found that there are 5 different types. The first type of diffusion is relocation diffusion. Relocation diffusion is the bringing of new ideas and cultures to an area from another group of people through physical movement. This movement can be through cars, trains, boats, or even someone just walking to a new place and sharing their ideas. An example of relocation diffusion is how the Europeans came to the Americas in 1492 on a big ship. They brought with them the physical things such as foods and clothing, but they also brought new languages and religions. The next type of diffusion is expansion diffusion. Expansion diffusion is an innovation or idea that develops in a hearth and remains strong there, while also spreading outward. Something that could help you remember this is to think of the sun. The sun is one central source, while its rays give off heat to different areas. Within expansion diffusion, there are 3 separate types of diffusion: hierarchical, stimulus, and contagious. Let's start with hierarchical diffusion. Hierarchical diffusion is the spread of a feature or trend from one key person of authority or power to other persons or places. An example of hierarchical diffusion is like when celebrities here in the United States start to wear certain brands of clothing, like Nike or Champion, and then everyone is suddenly buying Nike and Champion products. It becomes the new trend or fad in fashion, and spreads from a higher considered class to the middle or sometimes lower classes. There is also stimulus diffusion. Stimulus diffusion is the spread of an underlying principle even though a specific characteristic is rejected. An example of this could be to look at a McDonald's restaurants all over the world. McDonald's has locations in 119 countries, and almost every country has a different menu depending on the culture there and the types of food that people eat. The last type of diffusion is contagious diffusion. Contagious diffusion is the rapid, widespread diffusion of a characteristic throughout the population. For example, diseases spread rapidly and can affect multiple people, just like how contagious diffusion spreads rapidly and influences multiple people. Let's review. There is relocation, expansion, hierarchical, stimulus, and contagious diffusion. All of these describe the different ways people, goods, and ideas move around the earth. Thanks for watching.
Created using Powtoon.